versus they have T and Zane to go ahead and get that frontline presence. But before I even talk more about the draft, we are looking at a potential final match. If BTK does take this match home, looks like my introduction was a little bit too fast, but we are looking at a potential match point coming in for BTK. If they do win this, they do take this one home, and Ackerman's going to get shoved down to the losers bracket. A little bit of a pause getting asked here for both sides, and looks like a little bit of a issue. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go back. I really did not think Ube was bad, right? They did. If they had the Essence of Blessing, the Moon Goddess can save T, give a little bit more frontline presence, and Nicolette, she can copy off the Blessing of the Moon Goddess, but I think she would like to opt in more for that CC, which is going to be the way the Dragon or even the penalty zone coming in from T. So honestly, I didn't even think that was a bad idea coming in from side of BTK. What were you thinking?
Well, speaking of thinking, we're a little bit of a replay from the past to kind of help us formulate our thoughts. As you are seeing both teams battle it out over this Lord, a little bit of history of what we've seen so far. BTK, they were able to claim game 1, but Ackerman came alive for game 2 to even out this series. And especially on this Lord play, the suppression, and you've seen both teams fighting it out, and that was Ackerman who was able to claim that game. Then after that, BTK took game 3, and here we are. Game 4 between these two amazing teams fighting it out. The question is, who will be dropped down to that lower bracket?
Do you think Ube's strat would have worked for BTK?
I think yes, but the only problem with the Ube strat is depending on what support they ran, Nicolette could have kept their team alive because they already have Toinks, who is the roam, the frontline presence, and when you throw support on top of that, it may be a little bit too hard for them to deal with. So in theory, I mean, their draft still works, but a couple of conditions that have to be met from BTK. They have the full dive composition, so Joy Bosch and Yato need to rotate together and get pickoffs on the off lane.
You're right. I mean, there is a lot, but Nicolette, you do know that the passive, I believe, I'm pretty sure you can trigger Blessing of the Moon Goddess twice. So you press the ult, but then you use his first skill to give another boost, but you won't get that with the Valentina ult. But we're already seeing a lot of aggression in the mid side, and Galaxy already giving a little bit of menace to Vayne. Nicolette, doing a lot of damage in the mid side. Now, I can already tell just by looking at this, they're both like on their toes, on their feet, because this is the match. This is the match.
This is definitely the match, and I think the X factor is the Hellcurt into the hands of Kush. Something we don't typically see, and the question is, was it the right answer? Time will tell, but he does have a slight advantage of the Dark Knight Falls, right? He can kind of blind everybody on the side of BTK when it comes to the neutral objectives, and we're talking about Kush, the assassin who's been denying Mova Zane on a lot of these neutral objectives, as we are going to see Galaxy pick up first blood and take down T, assisted by his team over there, who did rotate to the bottom side nice and early before this turtle spawned in.
And Nicolette's going to opt in for the penalty zone, which means she is going to be a potential set for this next objective, which Kush already has a hand of. Whoa, 2 flickers being burnt left and right, Luigi.
Yeah, a lot of flickers being burnt left and right as both teams getting ready to take the neutral objective down. The Dark Knight Falls penalty zone for the knockup. Kush secures the turtle for Ackerman, but they are not done. Execution strike going down. T finds Toink. Zane finds Nicolette. 2 members down. Inside of Ackerman and 1, as Kush is going to find Joy Bosch as well. A lot of bodies dropping, but the first neutral objective going into the hands of Ackerman.
We do see a potential steal on this orange buff.
Yeah, Galaxy definitely risking it all, trying to deny the push into the orange buff from BTK, and was able to push them out, allowing Kush to claim his buff and his farm.
And we do see T had to proc out his flicker. He just got caught out by the Guardian's barrier. Beautiful wall coming in from Toins, but look at the top side. Zia put in a difficult situation. Already a lot of pressure, but Toinks and Nicolette already reading the situation and starting to rotate their way up to the top side.
Yeah, and definitely needing to put up some pressure on the top side. I mean, we're looking at BTK's winning conditions, right? You have Yato, you got Joy Boss, 2 heroes that can dive in on the off lane, and we need to see them kind of take that advantage nice and early and shut down Zia. But Zia running this Brody may give him a little bit of a harder time, but Kush, keep hitting the Dark Knight Falls, able to take these neutral objectives and blinding the whole team of BTK. The X factor that we kind of spoke about is definitely a condition that they have in their favor that they need to pull off. Speaking of favor, you're going to see the Wild Charge trying to get out with the flicker just in time. Did get a knock up onto BTK, and neither side lose a member in that skirmish.
But that is a lot of utility wasted. Flickers being burnt and ultimates being burnt as well. And we use the next neutral objective coming up in about 30 seconds. Now, Kush already doing a good job farming a lot. Demon Slayer coming in from both sides, but Red Tree prematurely used by Kush.
Yeah, risking it all. End of execution. Zane on the prowl. Twinks with Power of Nature trying to deny him. Yato does find Kush though. Fight still in the way. Yato with the Yin Yang overturn the Terrify onto T. Twinks using a Guardian Barrier trying to stop Zane. But on the top side, while all this is happening, Zia is taken very low from ISO.
But look at the bot side. T's still at about half HP, but both marksmen are living on the edge as they do not want to give this lane away, and ISO might just get caught up by Nicolette.
And the flicker burnt out from ISO. Turtle has been slain as well. Both teams securing a turtle. The second one going to BTK, and they are leading on the scoreboard 3-2.
Looks like they're looking for a potential turret trade here. Zia, got to be careful. Zia is a little bit low here. Look at the rotations though coming in. This is their rotations are a little bit scary, right? And they don't waste no time making sure. Ooh, that is a wild charge that had to be forced out by Twinks, which already there's no set potential now. But look at the mid side.
Yeah, looking on this side, looking at the bottom as well. Galaxy and T 1v1. The Terizla versus the Arlot. Who wins in that favor? You are seeing Mobazane, King of the Farm, trying to deny that Lethal Wanderer. But it looks like Ackerman was able to secure it with the Retribution. But T, given some insane pressure on the bottom side, is able to kind of proxy these minions. Now needing to recall back to the base for some HP.
And look at the top side again. They're already putting a lot of pressure, but mid side might catch out Yato. They're waiting patiently in the bush, but as there's nothing happening, here comes Push, trying to count the rotations here.
Right now, a little bit of a stalemate between both marksmen, but now the Dark Knight Falls to change that. Zia finds Joy Bosch. A little bit of that help provided by Kush with that X Factor Hellcurt.
And we do see already a punish for that as well. Since there's no set potential, they're going to go ahead and try to take proxy this top lane, but they're going to go ahead and back off. But look at the bot side. It's just kind of like wave versus wave player between Galaxy and T with this Arla and Terizla matchup. And I feel like here comes T though, coming in, doing a little bit of pressure on Kush's jungle, but neutral objective is coming out in about 10 seconds. And we're going to see who gets a hand on it first, as both junglers are going to start working on their buffs.
Right now, this game is pretty much even. 3-3 on the board. You are seeing Ackerman leading by about 2,000 gold, though. Both teams having one turret in their favor and all turrets standing strong. Right now, we need to figure out who can make this match work in their favor. Both teams having a little bit of a power struggle on who's leading the early phase. It's now a battle on the turtle pit in the way. Ackerman pulling the aggro. Kush in a great position for the retribution. A turret falling on the bottom side, though. You're going to see Kush pick up the turtle to respond when the Dark Knight falls. And now possible kill on the way. Penalty zone for the stun. But Galaxy finding the kill shuts down T. But they all in all, they did lose that turret on that bottom side for that turtle.
Left unchecked, as he's going to go ahead and use that split potential. It might just be taken off, but looks like they are going to go ahead and save that as well, and not look to give up any strength. But that is a objective in the hands of BTK, but also traded out by Ackerman up from the top side.
And right now, Ackerman finding a way to inch their way up the map. The small, micro, and macro plays are working in their favor. They need this victory. They cannot let BTK close this out, or they will be knocked down to the lower brackets with one last chance to kind of stay in the top 3 teams from North America going up against the Empire.
Absolutely. Now, even if BTK does lose this, they still have one more game to go, and they still have a little bit of insurance into their favor, so we are not done yet. But the bot side, the rotations are happening so fast, and we already see the mid lane getting pushed up as well. But that is another turret traded in by the hands of Ackerman.
Right now, Ackerman doing a phenomenal job. We're only 8 minutes in, and I know all of us can feel the pressure of how heavy this game is weighing so far. Ackerman needing to take this victory to take us to a Game 5, and honestly, that's where we hope these series to go, is a Game 5, keeping you on your toes. And from seeing both of these teams perform so far, I really think these two teams can take us to that Game 5 we're looking for.
But BTK doesn't want to give up that last chance and wants to take this win home and give themselves a little bit of a rest. But rotation coming bot side. Here we go.
There you go. You said BTK did not want to allow it, and this is their plan. Concealed play in. Dark Knight Falls to kind of blind BTK on this push. Kush, the X Factor, working in their favor. BTK now running away. Zane pathing in the wrong direction, finds a three-man team of Ackerman, and Nicolette is going to send him to the caster's desk. How you doing, Moba Zane? As we are going to see this Lord spawn in, and Ackerman having a possible great positioning for wave management in the first neutral objective.
And that is going to be a potential uncontested objective for the side of Ackerman, as the jungler is dead. Now Zia already looking at the trade out, but ISO already doing a little bit of that lane pressure in the management coming from the bot side. But Ackerman is actually in favor of these objectives. 3 turrets into their favor, but still looking to trade on more, as they're going to go ahead and deny some farm for the side of BTK.
Yeah, definitely trying to deny the farm. And right now, a good stance from Ackerman to be able to hold on in this series, as Moba Zane and BTK are trying to deny them. Take this to a game 5. Dark Knight Fall does go out by Kush. Torn apart mirrors from Zia from afar, doing some damage. T, pressing with the execution strike. Bursts it down. Huge penalty zone flicker in. Nicolette takes down Cereza. Zia finds Yato. You're going to find ISO, Moba Zane, and Joyboss left by themselves to defend against the full team of Ackerman. Was able to win that skirmish, which means they're going to be able to open up this map even more and claim some of these turrets. 2
members down right now inside of BTK, but they are going to be back up for defense. But Ackerman putting a lot of pressure to try out some objectives. The lead is starting to show. 5k, almost sitting at 6k right now. But final slash doing a little bit of damage. But we do see Lord still left unchecked on that bot side. We do see already the top side minions getting pushed up as well. Beautiful lane syncage coming in from Ackerman. Looks like they're going to look to push in with this Lord.
And, you know, I kind of want to give some credit to Kush, right? He kind of flipped the script. He ran this Hellcurt, not something that BTK kind of expected, and it threw them off guard. And these are just little things that you have to do to kind of take these victories that matter. And this may be exactly what they needed to hold on and take us to a game 5. As you are seeing that Lord on the bottom side quickly taken down by BTK with no contest from Ackerman.
And Twink's already putting a little bit of that wave pressure to kind of mess up and disturb the push coming in from BTK, as they do want to put that all the pressure they can. They are still looking at the most objectives into their favor, and they still have a lot of insurance just in case something goes wrong. They have room for mistakes, but BTK does not. But here we go.
Rushing in onto Joy Boss, Guardian Barrier trying to block him down. Zia from afar takes down Joy Boss. That is going to be 1 member out for BTK, and they are still looking to punish Galaxy, risking it all. Penalty zone for the denial, hitting him and Twinks, and the execution strike to follow. Looks like Yato Yin Yang overturn does find Twinks as well. That is 1 member down for both sides. Fight still on the way, though, as Zia goes in to try and deny that orange buff, but Zane able to claim it last minute.
Nicolette using the IMU does steal the penalty zone away from T, which means there is another set potential for the side of Ackerman. Look at how nice Kush is giving away that blue buff for Nicolette over there to do and sustain her mana just a little bit. But we are looking at another objective coming up in about 30 seconds, but that still means everyone's going to be up on the board. Now, this is where Ackerman has to take advantage of BTK's mistakes, but BTK has no room to make any mistakes or do a potential misplay, as soon as that happens, Ackerman is going to take full advantage. But Twinks might have just checked the wrong bush.
He's going to wild charge on his way out to save himself, and a little bit of utility burnt BTK. One of those teams that takes advantage of these misplays. And right now, like you said, their backs are against the wall. It is still only 12 minutes, so whether they fall or not, they still have enough time to be able to bounce back. A little bit of that resiliency on the way, but Lord has spawned in, and you are seeing Ackerman waste no time pulling the aggro.
And we are seeing Kush already having his hands on it. But look at the mid-river. Galaxy already zoning out a lot, but look at Zane over there at the top side.
Ooh, and the Dark Knight Falls. Kush yet again takes another objective, the X Factor jungler. And this is what you need to do to keep BTK on their toes with this Lord in their hands. They may be able to take some more of this map, but on the bottom side, ISO left unchecked yet again is going to go ahead and claim the high ground turret for the bottom side. But Ackerman on the chase. Dark Knight Falls possibly on the way. A flicker from ISO to escape, and the slow as well. But Nicolette for the denial and the terrified. The CC may be too much to handle. Able to dodge the deadly stingers. A final slash, and down he goes into the hands of Galaxy. But a fight on the way to respond. T does find Kush. Galaxy needs to get out of there. Nicolette respawning just in time, but not the same for his teammate. Nicolette does not go back. Goes in for blood and able to pick up a kill on T. Talk about helping your teammate out and not being selfish. You are seeing Joyboss now running away. Man, how the tide has turned. Zia picking up a mega kill with the torn apart memories is going to go ahead and take down Joyboss, leaving only Yato and mlbbesports to defend against Zia, Galaxy, Nicolette, and Twinks with a Lord pushing in the mid lane. Now going to make his way into that high ground turret, and down it goes. But you are seeing Zane and Yato for the denial. Power of Nature winding up from Twinks. This is the advantage Ackerman needs. They need to open up this base yet even more. Keep BTK uncomfortable.
Already? This is how Dark Knight falls.
He's going to go ahead and drop down. The pathing from Zane rushing in the penalty zone for the knockup. Zane shutting down Zia. T taking down Nicolette, overstaying their welcome. And you are going to see ISO find Galaxy. 3 members down for Ackerman. Kush finds mlbbesports to respond, though. Huge play to keep BTK in this game.
Yeah, speaking about overstay, Ackerman did go ahead and get taken off the board. Shutdowns coming in from left and right, and that is not what you wanted to do, but they're going to go ahead and take advantage of those minions as they're going to go ahead and take off more turrets from the side of BTK. So is that really a trade here, or is that more so just a overstay coming in from Ackerman?
Yeah, definitely got to watch out for the overstay since the Speedy Light. Well, Twinks always using this wild charge to get out, but yes, it does save him, but it denies having that set potential his team is kind of banking on, and this is what BTK is forcing out, but now Kush trying to run away, hit with the G-Kundo, use the Dark Knight falls away the Dragon for the stun. ISO trying to get in position with the Speedy Light Whirls, the Deadly Stingers connecting onto Joyboss, and Kush is able to get out of there.
Wow, that hurt. Did you see that blow coming in on Joyboss? Oh my goodness, he is running into that damage though, so he's gonna start hurting a lot once he is able to get that frontline presence. But just like you said, right? Twinks using the wild charge to get out, that is not really a good thing as there is no such potential, but he kind of has no choice but to check these bushes to make sure nobody is in there, or else it's just a very unfortunate fight coming in from Ackerman. Now, I feel like knowing that Galaxy, right, is running this R-Lot, the only disadvantage that I see is that him sitting in a bush, they're gonna know because the passive mark does show. But we also have Yato running this Kagura, which is kind of impossible for the side of Ackerman to go ahead and camp if he does use his umbrella to check these bushes. So it's kind of a little bit disadvantage, but oh no, mid side.
Yato does find Kush, and you are going to see Yato now getting punished from Galaxy to respond. 1 member down for both sides, but that is a jungler falling for Ackerman, which means retribution in favor for BTK, and Zane realizing this is going to go ahead and pull the aggro of this Lord, but the fight's still on the way in the mid-river. The way the Dragon connecting, knocking Galaxy airborne, but the final slash to respond. You are going to see Joyboss get out of there, barely any HP. Penalty zone dropping down. Nicolette rushing in, trying to do as much damage as possible. ISO Immortality has been proc rush strike over there from Zia. Securing the kill, takes down ISO. 2 members down for BTK, and it looks like the Lord put aggro is in favor for Ackerman. mlbbesports still in position. He is not going to pull his punches. He's still going to maintain that frontline presence with his tanks a lot. Joyboss to join the fight. You are going to see both teams fighting it out 3v3. Make that a possible pickoff for either side. Penalty zone dropping down. Galaxy rushing in with the vengeance. Possible final slash on the way. Guardian's Barrier dropping down, trying to stop BTK from running back to the base. A bloodbath in the bottom side between both of these teams. Ackerman and BTK. Joyboss taking down Zia. Thorn Rose from mlbbesports. Phantom Execution falling short. Not able to get the kill, but the way the Dragon and Yato securing the kill onto Galaxy. Deadly Stinger, a double damage effect is going to find a member of BTK. Down goes Yato. Huge play for Ackerman. They are able to secure the aggro for this Lord Pit, forcing BTK to respawn back and regain their HP.
They are looking... Can you breathe? You just talked for like a whole minute and 30 seconds straight over there. We've seen a little bit of a bloodbath. We are looking at a high kill score game this time. So 16 to 11, pretty early, but mlbbesports is going to have his hands on the board first, but Kush is still in the bush, being able to steal this Lord potentially, but here we go.
Zone dropping down. Nicolette finds T just in time. Another member falling as well as Joyboss falls to Kush. Look at the Lord though. Kush able to secure it just in time, but he is slain by ISO on his way out. Nicolette trapped on the wall, does dash out just in time. ISO with the Speedy Light Wheels trying to secure the kill, but they're not done yet. Winning Nation being procced by ISO. Guardian's Barrier trying to block him out, is going to dash right through it, but Ackerman able to claim this Luminous Lord, who is now making his way through the mid lane.
Ooh, flicker play coming in from Galaxy.
Fight not over, final slash, vengeance in, all for none on to Yato. Galaxy is going to be able to secure that kill. Zane is going to be hit for a possible retribution for the slow. Thorn Rose on his way out, able to sustain himself. We are looking at the Lord push into the base. ISO and Zane left to defend. Joy Boss spawning in just in time. You are going to see Zane pathing in. ISO takes down Galaxy, and this will be BTK denying Ackerman for finishing out this game.
Ooh, we are going back and forth, Wheezy. They don't know. You could just tell these two teams are not willing to give up anything. They will take every advantage, every kill, every skill, every ult, every creep, every buff they can get to stay in the game. And talk about staying in the game. We are looking at the 20-minute game again, and we are looking at the fourth potential match that could take a lot of things away from both teams, right? We are looking at both sides actually have their base crystal open, so one fight can go terribly wrong for one side, but it will be very good for the other. But here we go.
You see Ackerman rushing in, realizes they caught a member off guard. T, a little bit of an overextension, it was costly, and with him down, look at that respawn timer, 50 seconds. But nonetheless, BTK still having an advantage, still having great wave management. Really won't punish them that much, but the closer and closer we get to this next Lord spawning in, it may be the game changer for either side to close this game out.
I think that's the first time that Twinks actually landed an ult, because he's been using it to get out, but he actually was able to secure that kill for the side of Ackerman, taking T off the board. Now, this is going to be a 5-man right now for the side of Ackerman. BTK a little bit on that backhand, as they have to be careful to not get picked off here. No room for mistakes for... Oh, no.
Wow, Twinks. Oh my goodness, huge play for the knockup. Hug the wall to negate the G-Kondo. The way the Dragon ISO finds Twinks, though. Zia finds Yato. You're going to find one member for each side falling in that engagement. ISO trying to get away, but Nicolette with the backdoor play takes him down. You are going to see Joy Boss in the back situation. Zane pathing out with the puncture. Joy Boss not the same situation. Huge penalty zone for the knockup. You are looking at the stun onto T. Taking very low. Nicolette securing the kill. 3 members down for BTK, leaving Zane and Joy Boss by themselves. And you are looking at Ackerman pushing in on the bottom side, and now shifting focus to the top side. They do have the minions. They do have the numbers, but they don't have all the time in the world. 30 seconds until ISO spawns back in time. The marksman for BTK to stop this push from Ackerman, but they do have Zia, and that may be all they need. Stop Zane, contest him, final slash going in, deadly stinger. Look at the base crystal, very low, and they have done it, ladies and gentlemen. Ackerman takes down BTK. We are going to a game 5.
Victory!
We are going to a game 5. It is a 2-2 right now. You could just tell Ackerman was holding on to everything that they had.